The flooding situation in the Penal Debe Regional Corporation is posing a challenge to residents and those traversing the area. Chairman of the corporation, Dr. Sammy, told TTT News he is on the ground and there is a lot of water on the roadway. This corporation was said to be the hardest hit by Thursday's rain.
Along the SSC Ring Road, where the Orapus River has overflowed its banks and it's on the main road now. People are getting through, however. In Darkpo, I understand, by number 2 junction, Carrot Hill area, it's bad there. I know that I've just got a call from a councillor in Woodland that only high trucks can pass through in the Mongal Trace area. So there are spots throughout Penal Debe, even opposite my office here in Mahadeo Trace in the beginning. All the side roads are flooded.
He said assistance is being given to those who are in need.
We have our vehicles out in the road. We have our crew out there pulling people. We have a request just now from Gopi Trace to bring 2 young children out of a house. A person went with a truck, but it's not the high truck, and he couldn't get in. So we are trying to help him now.
Our team is on the ground to bring you updates on the flooding situation. Ian Wason is in St. Helena. Good afternoon, Ian. Tell us, what's the situation there?
Hi, good afternoon, and well, in Madras Road in Caroni and in Kelly Village, we visited those areas. Well, in Madras Road, the water is starting to come up. In fact, some of the residents say that the water started to come up early this morning, and they were a bit fearful in that they wanted to know how high it would reach, because they have fresh in their minds what happened last month. Now, the ravine that is running across Madras Road is supposed to take a lot of the water running off of there, but because that river is already high in capacity, the runoff from the road into the ravine is very slow, and in fact the water is coming from that same that ravine into Madras Road. So the residents will be looking on very carefully, very closely, and hoping for the best.
Thank you so much, Ian. And now we have the weather with Ian Wallace.
We've seen more showers coming across both Trinidad and Tobago overnight. Now, the Riverina flood alert remains at an orange level. River levels are near threshold along the Caroni River Basin, as well as the fact that those river levels are basically pushing further towards the west, and therefore that's why we've been seeing some areas which weren't previously getting flooding now beginning to see some flooding there. There's also minor flooding elsewhere, but obviously we've been talking about the hardest hit areas such as in Penal. Now, bearing in mind that this is the flood susceptibility map issued by the ODPM, so the disaster managers as well as the hydrologists and meteorologists have worked out that these are the areas that historically have a very high risk of being prone to flooding. So that includes Penal and obviously up towards Sandy Grande as well, and into Valencia. So wherever you see the dark blue colors, if you do live in those areas, you should obviously be in contact with those first responders if you do have any sort of difficulties. Now, the adverse weather alert is now up to 3, and this includes now the whole of Trinidad with street or flash flooding likely, gusty winds, and also landslips and landslides expected across some areas of Trinidad. Now, the main reason is that the ITCZ remains active over Trinidad and Tobago, and with a bit of the daytime heating, there's the likelihood of a few showers that could dwell in heavy and thundery across the hillier parts of northern Trinidad as well as for western Trinidad. But down towards the south, definitely there's still a high risk there of us seeing some of those heavier bursts as we go through Friday afternoon. There's likelihood of some improvement as we get towards late on a Saturday. Now, for Tobago, they've been basically out of this. There's no adverse weather alert on in Tobago in terms of the riverine flood alert, but definitely with the possibility of a few showers are coming through from time to time. Meanwhile, for Trinidad, looking for those showers through the afternoon that could turn to thundery, especially along our western areas. And if you're down towards San Fernando, into Moruga, Penal as well, the heavier showers will continue as we go through. There's a medium chance of us seeing those showers, and then also a chance of seeing those heavier bursts as well. Now, in terms of the temperatures, looking at a comfortable, possibly 31 likely across Trinidad as we go through this afternoon. And for fisherfolk and bathers as well, bearing in mind that the hazardous seas alert will remain in effect, and it's valid until Saturday 2 p.m. for coastal and offshore areas of Tobago and eastern Trinidad as well. We've been seeing some strong low-level winds, and that's also been aiding the ability for some of those showers to bring down some gusty winds. So strong easterlies at 20 knots. That means you will see some larger waves, 3 to 3.5 meters out there in the Atlantic, with east-northeasterly swells remaining short at 9 seconds. So definitely for mariners in particular, as you head towards the eastern coastlines, be mindful about that. And bear in mind that also during the high tide, which is at 11:15, and the next one is at 10:30, obviously that could worsen the situation with the flooding there. So as you go through your afternoon, definitely be mindful, watch the river levels, and obviously monitor the TV, online and radio as you go through the day.